Hi, good evening, everyone. It's Saturday and it's 6:30 p.m. and I'm back with another scintillating episode of the COVID Warrior series. Over the last 7 weeks, you guys have given me tremendous amount of love, tremendous amount of support to make this show a grand success. And as I promised, I continue to bring some amazing people to our discussion so that we can get more and more constructive information, especially surviving this tough COVID times. Today is going to be one of the most brilliant episodes. It's an episode of balance between the mind, body, and the soul. It's not just about leading a healthy life, it's also about having a healthy mind. And I'm extremely honored that today's guest, both the guests of mine, have had tremendous influence in my life. And I'm going to allow them to share their information with you so that it can impact your lives as well. My first guest today is Dr. Nischal. Well, all of you
Hi.
have given me compliments for my beautiful skin and my hair. Besides my great Bengali genes and my parents' lineage, the man who's responsible for it is Dr. Nischal. Dr. Nischal is one of the most coveted and respected dermatologists in Bangalore, and he has been my dermatologist for over the last 6 years. And Dr. Nischal is not only somebody who's superficial about your beauty, about skincare, about a healthy life, but he goes beyond that. He has guided me and he has allowed me to change my lifestyle in a very, very big way, which has made me who I am today. I've gone through many surgeries and many health issues over the last few years in my life, and one very recently. And sometimes I always battle with scars, issues, challenges, where I run to Dr. Nischal, and he's been a guiding force for me. And as we progress and process in today's discussion, he will share some wonderful tips and some wonderful information with all the viewers so that we can lead a very, very constructive life during this trying COVID times. My second guest today gives me even more excitement, especially because he balances the external well-being with the internal well-being. When I first met Dr. Nishkal, I was extremely overweight. I was almost 12 kgs overweight when you see me today. I was 70 and I'm 58 now. He told me one thing: I can treat your issues externally, but you need to become fit internally. So, how did I do that? All thanks to Dr. Raghavendra. Dr. Raghavendra is one of the most coveted, respected philosophers and someone who's an expert in yogic science in India overall. He played a very, very important and critical role in teaching me how to balance my body and mind. Every time I have encountered physical challenges, every time I've encountered a very crucial surgery or any kind of mental, instability, Dr. Raghavendra has been a guiding force. And we're going to talk with him about how do we manage our mind, our body, and our balance as we progress in the show. So please send me your questions. Please chat with me and send me information that you are looking for answers. And Dr. Nischal and Dr. Raghavendra, during the course of our conversation today, will answer those. Dr. Nischal, welcome to the show. Dr. Raghavendra, welcome to the COVID Warrior Show.
Thank you
So,
very much, sure.
Thank you.
thank Dr. Nischal, I'll start
Yeah.
with you. I'll start with you. You've known me for 6 years. I've seen you for over 6 years. Your practice spans over almost going to be 15 years now. And you're one of the most sought after dermatologists, cosmetologists in Bangalore, even nationally. Dr. Nischal, I will always come to you with my challenges given that I have sensitive skin and I've undergone surgeries and I have a lot of other health issues. And you would always give me guidance, and you have treated me to a very large extent, which allows me to lead a very healthy life now, especially because I have so many allergies and sensitivities and so on. A lot of our viewers today, especially because it's the COVID time and there are so many challenges with wearing masks all the time, with using sanitizers all the time, the concern comes how hygienic or how important it is for us to know how to wear a mask right and the impact it has on the skin. Also, using of sanitizers, because I have come to, and I've seen a lot of other patients complain to you as well. Our hands get dry. I start getting rashes. Doctor, how are we going to manage given that this pandemic does not seem to be going anywhere? Wearing masks and using sanitizer has become a new norm. My question to you is, if you can share with our viewers, what are the precautions we need to keep in mind, both for adults and for kids?
See, one thing is coronavirus infection is just like any other viral infection. See, the virus is going to stay with us. Okay, so we need to learn to live with this virus. Okay,
Right.
so that's the first aspect. So you can't look for a short-term vaccine or some medication to have a magical cure. So no, that's not possible. Okay. So when it comes to handling the virus, what best can we do? So the best practice is to be safe. Okay, how will you keep yourself safe? So one is you avoid coming in contact with people infested with infected with virus. So that's why we speak so much about social distancing. Okay.
Right.
Second aspect is, yeah, knowingly or unknowingly we are coming in contact with the virus. So how can we be safe with it? So
Right.
one is your mask. See, because it's an infection which is spread through aerosols. So if someone is speaking or someone is coughing, they are throwing out a lot of virus in the environment. And if you are in the close vicinity, yeah, there is a high chance that you can acquire it. Okay. So for that reason, you need to protect yourself. So one thing is completely covering your nose as well as mouth. See, that is very essential because a lot of people use mask, but the problem is it's either on the mouth or on the nose. One
Right.
of the orifices is out.
Right.
Okay, see, if you are covering your face and nose in that way, it is of no use. See,
Correct.
ideally, the entire this region, see, starting from the nose bridge, okay, till this area of the jaw, so this area, entire thing has to be covered, including the mouth, so
Mm-hmm.
that whatever aerosol which comes in, so that you don't inhale it directly. Okay. Second aspect is, see, when you're wearing the mask, see to that it snugly fits here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because if there is a lot of gap here or down, so then you can still breathe the air with aerosols. Okay, of the which contains virus particles. So snugly fitting, appropriately fitting mask, which actually covers this entire region, is a must. Be
Mm-hmm.
it a child or an adult, both have to use mask properly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's one aspect of the mask. Okay, the right size. Second aspect is how frequently you can use that mask. See, it is not
Yeah.
something like a cloth thing which you are washing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And coming to that aspect, the best mask what you can use to protect yourself is the N95 mask. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That filters off most of your viruses. Okay. See, the commonly available cloth mask or some other masks what you see in the market, they help you to prevent you from the dust or bacterial particles. See, they are
Mm-hmm.
larger particles. Whereas for the smaller viral particles, the best thing is N95.
Mm-hmm.
Please do not think too much about buying a good mask because that's an investment for your health. See,
Mm-hmm.
that is what is the need of the hour. See, you
Right.
can't take medicines once you get infected. You prevent. That's always good. Okay,
Correct.
so take a nice fitting proper mask. Okay, that protects you. Second aspect is you can't wash your masks. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so once you take that mask, you can use it for about 3 to 4 times. And whenever you're reusing it, at least for 72 hours, don't use it again. By that time, usually even if the viral load is there, it tends to die off. Okay.
Okay.
So for that reason, so if you're regularly going out and coming, so if you're into a job, so I would suggest you like you buy about 3 or 5 masks, and what you do is after each day's use, you keep it in a separate pouch and
Mm-hmm.
leave it in open air. Okay, so that it
Mm-hmm.
gets dried, and you
Got it.
reuse it after 3 days. See,
Got it.
that's the right way to use a N95 mask.
Got it.
And don't wash your N95 mask. Okay, by washing, the properties of the mask are like damaged. So the filtering effect comes down when you wash the mask. So this is the
That's a
most
very good
important.
insight. That's a very good insight because most of the masks say, it's washable and everything else, but like you said, that it
Yeah.
is the filtration property will go away.
Its property goes off. Okay. See, these regular masks will only prevent you from dust and dirt, but viral particles are really small. So for that, you need a proper N95 mask. And especially if you are going out and if there are a lot of dust and a lot of crowding and crowdy places, so it is better you also cover your face with the face shield. And if you are wearing a goggle, it has to be like how a swimmer uses it. Okay, it's completely covered and snugly fitting, because even through the eye mucosa, the viral particles can get into your body system. So this entire region has to be covered.
Okay. So, Doc, but when you wear it for so long, it's like I get rashes and I get bruises. Like, how do people, manage it? Like, is there any kind of medication, something that we need to use after we wear the mask? Because, let's say you told me moisturizer because I was getting a lot of rashes. You told me a certain kind of moisturizer. I already am getting a lot of questions, but I want to ask you that how do we prevent rashes and bruising for both adults and kids wearing these N95 masks or three-ply masks for a long time?
See, one thing is, since your N95 mask snugly fits you, okay, and you are inhaling your own breath for some time, there can be a risk of hypoxia, means you are inhaling your own air and that contains less of oxygen. So because of that, if you are working continuously with the N95 mask, you tend to get tired very fast. Okay.
Okay.
So one thing what you can do is, when people are not around, you can remove your mask for 2 minutes and take fresh air. But you can't do that when people are around. Okay,
Correct.
so intermittently you will have to breathe fresh air. Okay.
Right.
That is one aspect. Second aspect is, see, when you are covering this entire area, this area is also having a lot of oil glands. See, commonly for people it's the T-zone area, means the forehead, nose and chin is more oily when compared to the cheeks.
Right.
So when you're wearing a mask, naturally because of that, the humidity is more, the temperature rises. So whenever there's a closed surface, the temperature is trapped.
Right.
So that heat can increase your oil gland activity further, and it can develop a lot of pimples in this area. Okay.
Yeah.
Second aspect is, dandruff is a reaction which not only involves your scalp. See, it can also involve other body parts like your eyebrows, eyelashes, this entire area, nasolabial folds, mentolabial folds, and beard area. So
Wow.
when the oil secretion increases because of the heat, at that time even your dandruff reaction can increase. So one simple way to control this is, during this specific period, you can go ahead with salicylic based face washes which control your excess oil gland activity.
Okay.
So depending upon the oiliness of the skin, either you can use it once daily or twice daily, the salicylic acid face washes.
Any recommendation, any brand that you suggest?
See, there are a lot of brands in the market, so anything a good standard brand can be used. Okay.
Okay.
If
Somebody's
at all
asking.
if the pimple eruptions are too intense, then you need to check with your dermatologist, because probably at that time we'll have to put you on either a benzoyl peroxide or an adapalene cream with or without an antibiotic. So if
Got
there are
it.
a lot of pus-filled ones, we usually also put you on an antibiotic cream.
Understood.
So
Understood.
this is one aspect. Second aspect is your dandruff. So dandruff not only happens as scaling, but it can also darken your skin. So whenever the scaling or itching or darkening is there, you will require a mild antifungal cream, because when dandruff is there, there's a fungal infection. So usually antifungal creams, you can use ketoconazole or liliconazole creams. But if the reaction is more and the pigmentation is deep, consult your dermatologist. That's always better. See, because this is an area where all changes are seen. If something goes wrong, so then rectifying that requires more efforts. So for that reason, consulting is always good.
Got it. Got it.
And third thing is, take off your mask and wash your face at least 2 to 3 times in a day. So that's one simple thing what you can do. Take it off, wash, dab it dry, put your mask once again. Okay, and
Correct.
avoid very heavy makeup during this period. As it is, your face is not visible completely because of the mask. So
Makeup
your
companies are
too
losing
heavy makeup
business,
is
Doc.
not.
Makeup companies are losing business.
Yes. So this period, yeah, because you can't wear and nothing is seen. But still, if
Right.
you're applying it, that's fine. Go ahead with the light makeup. That helps a lot.
Got it. So important things like you said is one, using of the right mask. I think Renu is asking a question. Renu Chapre. She's been a regular viewer. So her question is, Doc, that she's already washed her mask. So could she dispose it off?
So see, if she has already washed, it's better not to use it. The protection value comes down.
Got it.
So she can buy 3 masks and she can use it alternatingly.
Alternative.
Any mask, maximum 4 to 5 uses. That's all. You have to dispose it off.
Awesome. So things to keep in mind is that if you are sensitive and if you are getting pimples or any kind of other face rashes, use a salicylic acid, face wash. There are a lot of good brands available. Or also you can, consult your dermatologist. Also, one of the things we learned today's session that, dandruff is not just limited to hair, so that it can come in other parts of your face and everything where you're covered, especially your eyebrow and if you have beard and all. So be cognizant of that. If you're wearing mask for a long time, take it out, and put it back on again. Have some amount of airflow, but using a right mask which fits around your nose and keeps some air around your face is very important. I think those are some of the important things Dr. Nischal talked about, and I'm gonna come back to Dr. Nischal again.
And
Dr.
one more thing I think
Yes,
I missed
yes,
out. So it's
yes,
basically for men, okay. See, it's very fashionable to have a nice black beard. But
yeah,
during this time, I think it's better we take it off because
okay,
when your hairs are there, your mask won't fit.
yeah.
Okay, so the protection comes down. So be clean there.
Okay, so all the men who are listening to this COVID Warrior series, if you have that fancy beard that you've been holding for a long time, it's time to take it off because you can get it back during COVID times, especially when you're wearing masks. It can create other kind of challenges. So please take it off. So that's important for us to kind of remember. Dr. Raghavendra, I want to come to you. Dr. Nikhil, you can go on mute. I think there's a little bit of an echo. Can you just try to go on mute,
Okay.
Dr. Nischal?
Yeah, sure.
Let me put it. No, no, it's fine. I can do it. Yeah. Dr. Raghavendra, I want to come to you. While Dr. Nischal shared some amazing, phenomenal information, like I myself didn't know so much given that I've been going to him for so many years. I want to ask you something. We all, especially during this pandemic, have seen a huge rise in the stress level of people who are, living at home and working from home. One, everybody is working extra hard because they don't want to lose their jobs. They want to prove a point. There are no normal working hours anymore. Everybody is working 18, 20 hours, including me. Like my health took a beating. I have been, suffering from health issues, which I had to like, undergo, treatment for and so on. I want to ask you this, Dr. Raghavendra. What is the ideal way of waking up and leading a healthy life? Like, how should somebody's day start, especially when they are spending all their time at home? There is so much of stress. People are not working out as much. What's your guidance to an ideal start of the day? What should that balance be? If you can share with our viewers, that will be very, very helpful.
Yeah, surely, ma'am. So before that, I would like to congratulate you for the eighth session of the COVID series.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And at the outset, I would like to express my gratitude and pay obeisance to two kinds of warriors. One, the COVID warriors, and two, our warriors on on our borders, who are defending our motherland from the external aggression. So these are
That,
the two warriors to whom I would like to pay my obeisance. Now, Dr. Nischal very well explained what are the things that has to be done
right,
during this time of crisis.
right,
So, I will be presenting a perspective from the philosophical background and from yogic point of view.
right,
So, it is not the the mundane view that I'm going to talk about.
right.
Now, see, we're caught up in such a busy, mechanical lifestyle. We forgot actually our values, our lifestyle, for what actually we are living for. And the problem actually now you talked about, I'll come to the what we have to do and the schedule part and all. But before that, I would like to say the stress and agony and all those things we are facing not only during the times of COVID, but even during the normal times also, we are a victim to this. The main
Right.
problem is that we are identifying ourselves with the physical body.
Mm-hmm. I think did Sir freeze? I think his. I'll unmute you. So I think Dr. Raghavendra's screen froze. So, Dr. Nischal, there are a few questions. Before Dr. Raghavendra comes back, I think we can just answer some of these questions, because one is
Sure.
from Renu, who's
Mm-hmm.
asking about her kid, because she follows my show regularly. So her question is, Doctor, thank you so much for the great information. How do we protect our children's skin? Because of course the same face wash and all will not apply to
Yeah.
them. So how can we protect our children's skin? And my kid has a very, very sensitive skin, is what she says. She said against, sanitizers as well as face masks. If you can please answer that question.
Yeah. See, one thing to understand is children's skin is much different from an adult skin. Okay.
Right.
So basic concept is the lack of oil secretion.
Mm-hmm.
See, till puberty, all our oil glands are not so functional. Okay. So because of that, children are more prone for dryness. So whenever the skin is already dry, you start using too much of sanitizers or detergents to wash. So that causes excessive dryness.
Mm-hmm.
Dry skin is just like a dry land. See,
Mm-hmm.
dry skin, just like how land dries and it develops cracks,
Mm-hmm.
similar way, even our skin cracks. So,
Correct.
whenever there is a breach in the skin, you're prone for infections and allergies.
Right.
So, that is why for children we give so much of importance for moisturizers.
Right.
So, whenever you're using any moisturizer, pick up something which has less chemicals. Okay, so
Right.
use something which is like oatmeal based or hyaluronic acid based. These moisturizers are much more safer. One.
Mm-hmm.
Second
Mm-hmm.
thing is prevent dryness. How do you
Mm-hmm.
prevent it? Don't use a very aggressive soap. Use a mild
Mm-hmm.
body wash or a mild soap, and don't put a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hot water. See, that's one thing which is practiced, especially in South here. We feel that when children are given a hot water bath, they sleep well. Okay, you
Right.
feed them nicely and you make them put off to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Okay, because that causes a lot of dryness to children. Okay. Second
Mm.
aspect is traditional thing. So please apply a lot of coconut oil to the body, massage and give bath. See, no need to wait. You don't need not have to make the child stand for half an hour, 1 hour. Okay.
Right.
So apply the oil, massage and give bath immediately. See, that's a
Mm-hmm.
very natural moisturizer. So
Mm-hmm.
apart from coconut oil, the second best oil for the skin is sunflower oil. So whatever you
Oh,
have, you start using that. Yeah, that's traditional. Okay.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Sunflower.
true.
Wow. Okay, I thought we only use it for cooking.
No. See, basically what happens is when we are using oil for the skin, we have to choose an oil which has low molecular weight so that it can penetrate to your skin pores. And why
Got
we
it.
prefer coconut oil? Because it has affinity for skin protein. So it goes and attaches to your skin and it prevents
Mm-hmm.
your water loss. So for that
Mm-hmm.
reason, coconut oil is the best. Okay.
Got it.
And one another important myth is if you apply coconut oil, the skin goes dark. You apply oil to the hair and hair is black. Okay, people apply the same logic. No, see, the color is internal, okay? Whether you apply coconut oil or not, whatever color you have will always sit there, okay? So don't worry about your color or complexion. Please use coconut oil and liberally
Mm-hmm.
apply moisturizers. By doing so, you will improve the skin immunity of the child. So that helps to prevent infections. Okay.
That's
So
amazing.
and the same thing happens for the face as well. So face is also much more drier. So apply moisture frequently, 2 to 3 times in a day. You can apply to children. And when
Right.
you're taking them out, ideally you should not take them out during this period. If
Right.
for some reason you're taking them out, please put them a nice fitting mask.
Mm-hmm.
N95 masks are available even in sizes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so choose the appropriate sized mask. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and as far as possible, do not take children outside now. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually safe.
So that's and another question is from Neha, doctor. She's saying that because of excessive use of sanitizers, her hand feels very, very dry, and she
Yeah.
wants suggestions from you in terms of how to combat that dryness. She's using a normal hand cream, but she wants to know if you have any suggestions of a specific hand cream to use.
See, one thing with regard to sanitizer, Neha, see, when do we ask you to use the sanitizer so much? See,
Yeah.
if you are going out too much outside, if you are coming in contact with people, you are touching objects, so then you have to use sanitizer. If because
Right.
of lockdown you are at home, do not use sanitizer so much. So
Right.
the chances of you contracting an infection when you are at home is very, very less. Okay. So if you are at home, please don't use sanitizer so much. Whenever
Right.
you're using sanitizer, use some of these sanitizers come with a little bit of moisturizers. You can pick up something with that. Okay.
Right.
Second aspect is intermittently what happens is all your sanitizers form a film on your hands. Okay, so that's why after 5 to 6 times, once you apply sanitizer and if you look at your skin, it looks dull. Wash it off with soap and water, put moisturizer and re-sanitize.
Correct.
So the best way is intermittently keep washing your hands and immediately after dabbing it dry, put lots of moisturizer. So
Right.
next to your hand wash, I want you to keep a tube of moisturizer. When
Right.
you do that way, your skin is soft and supple. Because the moment the skin becomes dry, you develop irritation, redness, soreness, itching. So for that reason, every time you wash your hands, put a lot of moisturizer. Pick up a sanitizer which has a little bit of moisturizers in it.
Mm-hmm.
And even on top of the sanitizer, you can keep applying moisturizer.
Oh,
And if you're
wonderful.
not going out, don't use sanitizer so frequently at home. Okay.
So, Neha, I think that answers your question. If you're at home, don't use too much sanitizer. If you're going out, apply, cream on top of the sanitizer. So, one of the creams that I use and I swear by is Venusia. It's for extremely dry skin. It has helped me a lot. Dr. Nischal only suggested me. The other one that I use is Physiogel. Again, a phenomenal moisturizer and a cream. Indeed, like even now, I'm wearing Physiogel underneath my makeup. So that's very good as well. And Dr. Nishchay, you won't believe it was you who had told me, but I use coconut oil to even remove my makeup. So
That's
it
good.
doesn't burn my skin and it doesn't give me the rashes. So I take the cold pressed coconut oil and I use that to actually remove my kajal and my makeup, and it also helps in removing any kind of residue near your eye, and it doesn't hurt or burn because all the other makeup remover has some kind of an alcohol content. So with that, Dr. Raghavendra, we lost you there. That's
Yeah,
why we
yeah.
want to take some of the questions. So, Dr. Raghavendra, I'm going to come back to you. Please continue with your thought in terms of how ideally the hacks, the totkas that you have given me, please share it with the audience and tell them how should they ideally start their day and both the exercise as well as the home remedies.
Yeah, sure, man. Actually, I lost you in between. See,
Mm-hmm.
first thing, what I told you, I'm going to, talk from the philosophical, perspective and the yogic perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The root cause for all the issues, like, stress and all those things, is that we think that this body is us.
Mm-hmm.
So this we have to overcome, actually.
Correct.
And we think that we are immortal and we are here to stay for thousands of years.
Right.
We are not sure how long we will live. There is no warranty and guarantee to this body.
Absolutely.
So when you realize this bit of fact, the attachment goes away. So what the scriptures and all this say is that, so this avidya, they call it as avidya.
Mm-hmm.
So eradication of this avidya is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You see, for example, even if you see the life of Gautam Buddha and all, what
Mm-hmm.
is the cause for his transformation? Because you see, he saw four incidents, and
Correct.
he saw a sannyasi
Right.
who was very happy. So
Right.
he realized it, and that is how the transformation took place.
Right.
So we first thing is that we have to know the distinction between us and the body.
Right.
Like, see, if you read Bhagavad Gita, there is a very wonderful verse in Bhagavad Gita chapter number 2 and verse number 23. It says,
Mm-hmm.
nainam chindanti shastrani nainam davati pavaka na chainam kledanti apo na sosyati marta.
Mm-hmm.
So your atma, I mean, a weapon cannot cut it,
Mm-hmm.
nor fire can burn it,
Mm-hmm.
nor water can wet it, nor wind can dry it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Atman. There is
Mm-hmm.
no death to the Atman. That the death is only to the body. We
Mm-hmm.
are, if you see the Advaita philosophy,
Mm-hmm.
Atman is immortal. If you
Mm-hmm.
see the main principle, what Advaita talks about, it says Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mityam, Brahmo Jivo Napara.
Yeah.
So Brahma is Satyam. This Jagat is Mityam. It is illusion.
Yeah.
So there is no distinction between Brahma, Brahmatma, and Jivatma. That's what he says. Brahma.
Correct.
So this we have to, from philosophically, we need to understand this. Like even if there's wonderful words, I would like to just quote in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2 and verse number 22. It says, just like how we discard our old clothes,
Mm-hmm.
in the same way, the soul also discards this body.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to realize that we are not going to stay here forever and ever.
Correct.
So once when we realize this fact, there is no more stress.
Mm-hmm.
When we came to this earth, what have we brought? And when we depart, what are we taking with us?
True.
So why should we worry?
Most people find it so hard to follow, sir. Everybody wants to lead a luxurious life. Everybody needs a job for money. Everybody wants to ensure that kids are getting the best education. So while you have the stress of all, I know you said, and you, like you said, the Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithyan, and that most people don't understand. So those for whom all of this is new, how should they basically lead their life? What are the basic principles they should follow? Because everybody don't understand philosophy. Everybody don't have access to somebody like you. Like you've been a guru to me, but not everybody. Look, I'm sure all the viewers, I'll give you Dr. Raghavendra's and Dr. Nishal's contact details. So both have been a guru in their own way. But sir, those who don't have access, you have taught me how to start my day, and I'm not going to share that. I want you to tell that how you transformed my life through all my physical challenges. You've seen me go through all the multiple surgeries, all the difficulties, all the challenges. How have you helped me transform myself? You can share that. And what are
Yeah,
some of the basic principles?
yeah. I mean, there were two questions.
Yes, sir.
So the second one talks about what you're talking, what you should do, and all those things. I mean, I will come to the that part as well.
Sure.
But you said that people want to acquire wealth, schooling and all those things.
Yeah.
See, if you read the scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
see there are four purusharthas.
Yeah.
Those are called, those are the ultimate aims. Okay, four
Mm-hmm.
purusharthas. I mean, the main aim is moksha, but there are four purusharthas. That is dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. See, there is a
Correct.
very, very, very beautiful system they have evolved. They have not left even a single aspect of human life. So when you talk about
Right.
dharma, so it is duty,
Mm-hmm.
what you have to
Mm-hmm.
do. That is
Correct.
dharma. And artha
Right.
means wealth. So you have
Correct.
to gain wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You have to gain wealth through dharma,
Mm-hmm.
through rightful means.
Mm-hmm.
And kama means all the sensual requirements. You have to fulfill that as well.
Correct.
Dharma, artha, kama, and then is moksha, which is the ultimate aim of one's life. So just
Right.
like a garland with different flowers, there is a common thread passing through. This is
Right.
dharma actually which is passing through.
Correct.
The dharma, artha, kama, and then moksha. So they have
Correct.
not left even one aspect. They have covered entire thing, but
Correct.
it should be done in harmony with dharma.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we need to understand. But in the modern day, what has happened is that they have left the beginning and the ultimate one.
Mm-hmm.
They are struggling only in artha and kama.
Mm-hmm.
That is the reason why all this stress, tension, and all
Well
these
said.
issues.
Well said. Yes.
Yeah. Now coming to the second point, they
Mm-hmm.
said that how. So if you read the ancient scriptures and all, so there are very two things which everybody should know.
Mm-hmm.
That is, one is called, it's called dinacharya,
Mm-hmm.
and second one is called ritucharya.
Mm-hmm.
So if you follow this, I mean, you won't face any health issues, any major health issues you don't face. So what does the scripture says that one has to wake up in Brahmi Murta.
Mm-hmm.
That is when you have to wake up. That
Mm-hmm.
is 2 hours before sunrise.
2 hours before sunrise.
Yes, 2 hours before sunrise. So that
Mm-hmm.
is called Brahmi Murta.
Rami
So
Murthy.
that
Okay.
is the time when you should wake up.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? We are waking up at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, on 12 o'clock also.
Guilty.
So this is the first step. We have to wake up in Brahmi Muhurta. So the next step is that you can go to the washroom and then drink water, what we call as achamanam. So after that is I mean it comes your brushing your teeth and gum massage and all those things.
Hmm. Will you tell me the process, the same thing that we do? You talk about all the three steps that you've taught me.
Yeah, see, you mean
The
to you
drinking of
want
the
me?
warm water.
Yeah. See, drinking of the water, you should squat down and you should drink. You should not stand and drink, and it should be lukewarm to your body temperature. And
Got it.
and especially most of the women and men we have calcium deficiency, so we can add little bit
Right.
of tuna, a
Hmm.
little bit tuna. You can mix with
Yep.
the water and you can have it.
Right.
So, the medical science and all, they say after the age of 40 and all, body will not absorb, calcium. Dr. Nischal would be in a better position to talk about that. But when you
Hmm.
take this
Hmm.
tuna, your body absorbs calcium. And it is the cheapest way. Instead
Hmm.
of taking shield cal,
Hmm.
Xcal and all those things, you can go for
Hmm.
tuna, 2 rupees packet.
Hmm.
You can have that.
Hmm.
So this is one thing. And brushing also,
Hmm.
kindly don't use any chemical paste.
Hmm.
There was a time when these Western companies used to market us, telling that you people use charcoal. Now the same
Hmm.
people have come up with a brand called as Ved Shakti.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, it is like that. So you can massage your gums with
Hmm.
Tripla Churna,
Hmm.
Trijataka, Trikutaka.
Hmm.
So these are
Hmm.
the herbs, because your teeth are strong. I mean, if
Hmm.
your gums are strong. So what we
Hmm.
do is that we only brush teeth. We don't massage the gums.
Right.
So we must and should massage the gums.
Right.
So this is the no a very very important thing.
Right.
And the scriptures actually they also talk about applying anjanam,
Hmm.
what you call kolire, what you apply here anjanam. So they
Yeah.
also talk about that. The scriptures talk about that. And
Hmm.
after that, they say you need to put anutailam. That is
Hmm.
called nyasa. Like you have to put either sesame or ghee in the nostrils.
Okay.
And whoever are facing this, sinusitis problems, sneezing,
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
nose and all, if you do this, you will get rid of this.
Yeah.
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 So,
I
so
myself have seen the benefits of it, and I'm going to
yeah,
share.
yeah,
You've see that, like
yeah,
taking little lukewarm tea, putting it like when you are actually doing the cardio and all that, and
yeah,
brushing helps in removing the toxin from the body, right?
yeah. And this ghee can be used two times. One in the morning, and before
Mm-hmm.
going to bed also you can use it. If you use when you're going to bed,
Right.
a person will not snore. He will have a
Oh wow.
sound sleep. Yes. And it will also control kapha accumulating.
Mm-hmm.
If you just do 3 days or 4 days, you'll know the result. You don't have to wait for more than a week, 10 days or any month. No, just 3 4 days
Wonderful.
you'll know it. Yes. Kaugi,
Right.
preferably kaugi. And then
So do
after
you have?
this,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, ma'am.
No, no, no. Carry on, sir. Carry on.
Yeah. And then after that, what you have to do is that you have to brushing is done, nasa is done, then you have to do
Mm-hmm.
oil pulling also. So for
That's what
oil
I wanted
pulling,
you to talk about. Yes.
oil pulling, you have to do it. That will remove all the toxins from the body. So the best oil
Mm-hmm.
is sesame, or
Mm-hmm.
you can use sunflower as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are the two ideal oils.
To be used.
And yeah, yeah.
Both from you and Dr. Nischal today, I learned such super benefits of sunflower oil. Literally, like, I thought the only thing we were using it for was cooking, making, fried stuff and all of that. But for kids as well as for like, the oil pulling, swishing, it's such a good oil, right?
And not only that, ma'am, from health perspective, people will not develop smile lines and wrinkles on the face.
because of oil pulling, right?
Yeah. Because of that action, switching what you do, it
Mm-hmm.
also strengthens the your face muscles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yeah, after this, what the scriptures recommend is that you have to do abhyangam, that is oil massage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oil massage you need to do. So
Mm-hmm.
the best oil, actually, there is a lot of restrictions in Ayurveda which oil to use. Like for example, you cannot use sesame oil on all the tithis.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to avoid that confusion is that you can have coconut oil
Mm-hmm.
and don't get into this, virgin, cold pressed, and all those things. Just raw coconut oil will do wonders.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So you can do that. I mean, let that oil stay on your body for around 30 minutes, and then you can have a bath. But before that, I mean, people who do exercise after this oil massage is advised to vyayama.
Vayama. Yeah.
Vyayama. So you can do at home. Like for example, we people, we go to gym and all. So first you
Mm-hmm.
go to the gym, come back, have an oil massage,
Mm-hmm.
and then take a bath.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this can be done. So Abhyangam, I mean, you can do cardio, you can do strength training, you can do aerobics, or Zumba, or yoga, whatever it is. Yoga,
Mm-hmm.
I mean asanas.
Asanas. Yes.
Yeah, there is a misconception. People, it has become, yoga
I
means
want you
asana.
to hold that thought, Raghavendra sir, because I that's a big question. I want to come to you because I want you to
Okay.
explain to all the viewers the myth of yoga being asana versus the whole mind, like yoga, where the concept comes from, the awakening of the Brahman, the meditation. Because that's a big subject, so I want you to hold that thought. So
Yeah.
I want to summarize the things that you said because we still have a long time to go for this session. So I want to summarize the things that you said, that it's very, very important to understand that out of the four things that sir talked about, that the dharma, dharma, kama, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha.
Moksha.
We often focus just on the artha and the kama, and we forget about the dharma and the moksha. Well, not moksha is a long process, but what I believe dharma is the way of life. It's leading it in the right way, in good way. So it's very important that you are starting your day in the right way. Like I am guilty. I go to sleep very late at night. I wake up sometimes very late in the morning. Even though I do my yoga, I do my vayams, the asanas, the pranayam, and everything. But I'm guilty that I go to bed late, and that's what I'm going to come to Dr. Nischal with that question, Doc. I have a very stressful life. I have a lot of responsibilities. I don't always. You have told me a lot of times to go sleep on time, wake up on time, and just like Dr. Raghavendra said, the ideal time to wake up is before the sun rises. No wonder all the big guys, like including Akshay Kumar, who I'm a big fan of, wake up every day at 4 a.m. So I now know the reason behind it is why he still looks so young, he's so fit. The other thing that Sir talked about is doing, the using of, doing oil pulling. And oil pulling is something where, some people are asking how you do it. It's pretty much like how you take a little bit of oil in the mouth and you squish it like, you actually do like this. It's like gargling within your mouth. Until the time it becomes very leathery, it becomes very thick, you spit it out. It actually helps in strengthening the gums, your teeth, and it also draws out all the toxin. And when you use a toothpaste, use a natural one, something that has, like I have sir guided me to use triphala and haptaki to massage the gum. Even if you use a other kind of toothpaste, but that's a great way to do it. And then, oh, I definitely forgot to talk about drinking of warm water. That's, you squat and drink. There's a reason our commodes and latrines used to be built that way, because there's a scientific reason for you to squat. Why squat is one of the most coveted form of exercises, because it actually helps your entire digestive system to get reactivated and helps build a great immune system. That's, sir is going to talk more. But Dr. Nischal, stress, you know, Dr. Raghavendra, from a philosophical standpoint, I don't know how much of that you follow what he said, but I myself get up very late. You told me to go to bed early. I know you go to bed early, but Doc, we have too much stress right now. Like, I have a friend of mine who's watching this show. She's a very famous author and a celebrity. Her name is Srimoy Kundu. She was asking, Uh, she had one question about the mask, but I know another question that she has. I'm not sure if she's asking that, but I'll ask on her behalf. Is that hair fall? I am going through tremendous amount of hair fall myself, and after all the medicine and surgery and all, it's just kind of increased even more. And then what happens is that also suddenly I'm getting adult acne. Like I was never seen, I never had one acne in my life, you know that, and suddenly I've started developing it. And there are people who are watching it have similar kind of experiences. So how do we manage it? Like, Sir talked about and he's going to talk more about the meditation and stuff like that. But I'll ask you from a medicinal perspective, Doc, how do we manage stress? How do we manage these hormonal imbalances, hair fall, adult acne? How do we manage it?
See, one thing is, be it acne or your hair fall, both are related to your hormones. And
Right.
one major factor which can influence your hormones is your stress. See,
Mm-hmm.
that is the basic concept. So
Right.
many a times when people have a very clear skin, when they're close to an event, probably marriage or some function, naturally that's a time when they undergo a lot of stress. At that time, their pimple breaks up.
Right.
So stress is one thing which influences your body. Okay, not only internally but also externally. So that
Right.
you need to take care of. See, it's very simple. Everyone has a lot of challenges in life. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
work, you have to study, you have to look after some things. You have to do it. Stay calm and cool. Okay, you have to
Mm-hmm.
face it. Okay, that's all. You can't run away from the situation. That's one
Correct.
thing. Second aspect is, so when this stress accumulate, it alters your hormones. So that triggers your acne as well as the hair fall thing.
Correct.
So stress related management is one with your regular lifestyle changes. Okay. So doing all your exercises just like how Dr. Raghavendra said. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Second aspect is, see, there are some things which are naturally there which reduce your stress levels. For
Mm-hmm.
example, milk and banana, they are rich in tryptophan. Tryptophan gets converted to serotonin. So it calms down your mind. So what you
Mm-hmm.
can do is you can have this at night time. So for this to have, both the products are actually heavy. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
have an early dinner. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
have dinner by around 7:38, and if you're sleeping by 9:30, 10, you can have a glass of milk with banana. So
Mm-hmm.
that's very beneficial. That relaxes your mind. So once you have a peaceful sleep, 50% of your problem is solved. Okay.
Got it.
So then comes how to take care of other aspects. See, not only because of your stress, but also because of your nutrition, hair fall, and acne will increase. So
Mm-hmm.
avoid too much of junk food, sweets, chocolates. Okay, your processed fruits.
Uh-huh.
All these food items, they are known to increase your acne. One.
Okay.
Second thing is, many times when you are having these things, you won't eat something which is very healthy. See, you're
Mm-hmm.
working continuously and you're at home, you feel like eating something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're eating, if it is not so nutritious, then your regular breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be hampered.
Mm-hmm.
So any nutritional deficiency gives you a lot of hair fall. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's one thing. So pay attention to your food. Okay, that's very
Mm-hmm.
essential. When it comes to hair, you need to have a lot of protein-rich food because
Mm-hmm.
hair, skin, hair, and nail all are proteins. So whenever people go through
Mm-hmm.
protein deficiency, hair fall is more. Okay. So have a lot of dal and sprouts. If you are okay, go ahead with your fish, egg, meat. You can have them, but
Mm-hmm.
only thing is don't have deep fried items. Okay, because that gives you a lot of calories. That increases your acne. So be on a healthy side. So once in a while there is a cheat day. Okay, so sometimes you can have all those things, fried items. So on that day, exercise a little bit extra and have a little bit of more of salads. Okay, that helps you, it
Mm-hmm.
protects you. Having a lot of fruits and vegetables give you antioxidants. Second benefit is not only that. See, these antioxidants improve your immune system. So with so much of infection around, if your health diet is healthy, the chances of you acquiring infection is less. One. Second, even if you contract an infection, probably you will fight it back nicely. Okay, you won't go
Right.
through all the phases like how people suffer. So for
Right.
that reason, not only for your skin, it's also for your internal health. You need to take care of
Mm-hmm.
your diet. And third thing is, see, your mask is giving you a lot of breakouts. So as I told you,
Mm-hmm.
salicylic face washes and Adapalene creams are good. And with regard to the hair, especially if you are working with sitting continuously, there's a lot of sweating or oil secretion.
Mm-hmm.
Wash your hairs regularly. Okay, whenever there is a lot of sweat, oil, and dust on the scalp, that gives you a lot of itching. So keep it clean. Even if you're not going out, wash your hairs every alternate days. Especially women,
Mm-hmm.
alternate days. And for men, we ask you to wash daily. And
Got it.
second thing is, whenever you have itching in the scalp, don't apply oil because adult scalp itching is basically because of dandruff, and dandruff has a fungal component.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular fungus which gives you dandruff feeds on oil. So it's a lipophilic fungus. It wants oil to survive. So if you're putting too much of oil in your scalp, your itching increases, hair fall increases.
Mm-hmm.
So take care of that aspect. So
Right.
one, take care of your stress, sleep well, have good food, and third, keep your scalp clean.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever the itching is more, you can use a antifungal shampoo. Your simple ketoconazole based shampoos you can use. So by doing this, you're taking somewhere some care, so that can be managed.
Wow. Well, people are loving it, Doc. So, you and Dr. Raghavendra are giving tips. Like I have one, person asking apple cider. They're saying that there's so much rage about apple cider. How beneficial is apple cider? You take it in any form.
Apple cider vinegar, see, people are drinking it, people are applying, people are washing their hairs with that. It's nothing. It's not something very miraculous thing. Okay, so it does have some properties where it removes your dead cells, where it removes your sebum. So scalp cleansing is good.
Mm-hmm.
Small quantities of a good quality of apple cider vinegar, it's good for health. So some people do take it, but see there are various grades of apple cider vinegar. So check that whether it can be consumed. So that's very important,
Correct.
and that is how it is. But that alone can't be a treatment for any of your problems. See, it's a booster. So it's
Absolutely.
something which can improve the overall results, but that alone can't give you results.
Absolutely. You said three very important things. One is you cannot compromise on your sleep. And there was a book I was reading a few days back, Doc, that why it is so important for the smartest of people to at least get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Because, people with brain disorder at a certain age, and I'm one of them who've experienced it, is lack of sleep, right? So sleeping on time, having nutritional food, protein-rich food, which is very, very important because, like you said, our hair, skin, and nail is made of protein. So protein-rich food is very important. Do not take supplements. Take good, good consumable items and avoid junk. The third thing that you said is that keeping your scalp clean, using the right, ketoconazole, which you said is that-based shampoo, ensuring that there's no itchiness, there is no residue on the scalp is also very, very important to, reduce your hair fall and have a healthy skin. So Dr. Raghavendra, I want to come to you now, right? You have some tips to reduce hair fall and to reduce skin issues, which you have followed and you guide a lot of your students, and especially the viewers, for you to know that Dr. Raghavendra teaches at Bangalore University, and he's a part of the philosophy department, and he teaches on yogic science and philosophy. So Dr. Raghavendra, what are your tips for the viewers during this time who are experiencing excruciating amount of hair fall and excruciating amount of skin problems as such, how to manage that?
Since I'm actually, diet plays a very important role.
Right.
So yeah, diet plays a very important role. So from Ayurvedic perspective, if you see, you need to consume a lot of fruits, vegetables, and especially amla.
Hmm.
So in Ayurveda says a person should eat six kinds of tastes every meal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So these six kinds of taste you'll find in amla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a rich source of vitamin C. And
Mm-hmm.
hair fall, like for example, you take all Ayurvedic oils and all. What is the major component in that? The major component is amla.
Yeah.
And then your bringiraja and all those things.
Yeah.
So it's see, I mean, we are talking more superficial, the external application kind of things. But no, if you change your diet,
Mm-hmm.
if you take care of your diet pattern, your lifestyle, everything will be fine.
Right. That's what
I
Dr.
have seen I have seen most of the rishis with lot of hair,
Mm.
lot of hair. I have not seen any bald rishis and all. Maybe exceptionally, but at large this is what it is. So I say diet plays a very very very
How
important.
should you take amla? Is it should be taken in powder form? How should somebody consume amla?
See, it's no best thing is that this Baba Ramdev store you get amla churna.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take that, or you can take Chyawanprash also. That's excellent.
Okay.
It's one of the greatest immune booster,
Mm-hmm.
immune booster. So you can take that.
After food, before food, how should you take it, doctor?
After food you can take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because Ayurveda talks about like your food should have all these six tastes.
Mm-hmm. What
So
are the six?
whenever you I mean, there are like sweet, sour, astringent, pungent. So like that, there are six tastes,
Got
right?
it. Got it.
So
Yeah.
this amla contains that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take that, I mean, that shortcoming is taken care of.
Right. So that brings me to the subject that we were discussing before, Dr. Raghavendra.
Yeah,
Yoga.
yeah.
Is yoga about just exercises and body stretches, how the Western world has made it to be? What is the truth of yoga, and how can our viewers take the advantage of actual yoga for the well-being of the body and the mind?
Yeah, good question, man. See, if you read uh, Patanjali Yoga Sutra,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so in that chapter number 1 and verse number 2, what it says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha.
Mm-hmm.
This is the definition of yoga.
Yoga chitta vritti.
Chitta Vritti Nirodha. That is
Mm-hmm.
cessation of the vrittis,
Mm-hmm.
of the mind, the multiple thoughts what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Cessation of those vrittis, of those modifications of chitta of the mind. So cessation of that, that is yoga. Yoga
Mm-hmm.
is not just asanas as everybody thinks about. For many, for most of us, yoga means asana and pranayama.
Right.
It is not that.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, Patanjali Maharishi says yoga chitta vritti nirodha.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same way, you see, there is one more scripture. It is called Yoga Yagnavalka.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, in chapter number 1 and verse number 43, what it says is that Samyogo Yoga Ityukto Jivatma Paramatmana.
Mm-hmm.
So yoga, it's about the union of
Mm-hmm.
Jivatma with Paramatma.
Mm-hmm.
This is the ultimate home, not the flexible body,
Mm-hmm.
not just the flexible body and the quiet mind.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just means.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not the end in itself.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Those are not the end in itself. The ultimate aim is something different.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it. For example, even if you see, it's called Ashtanga Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 8 steps. So first one is Yama,
Mm-hmm.
Niyama. Third one is Asana. Fourth
Mm-hmm.
one is Pranayama.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth one is Pratyahara. Sixth one
Mm-hmm.
is Dharana. Seventh
Mm-hmm.
one is Dhyana, and eighth one is Samadhi.
Mm-hmm.
So we are only talking about point number 3 and point number 4, that is Asana and Pranayama.
Mm-hmm.
So without Yama and Niyama, it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Those are the foundation. We should know first what are the Yamas and Niyamas.
So niyamas, I know discipline. Tell me about yama.
Yeah. So Yama means, see, it talks about, see, Ahimsa, Satya, Ahimsa, Satya, Astheya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha.
Mm-hmm.
So Ahimsa, non-killing.
Mm-hmm.
Satya, speak. Asteya, do not crave for other things.
Mm-hmm.
Others, no, like no, you have a desire to get that, this, and also don't do that. That is Asteya.
Mm-hmm.
Aparigraha,
Mm-hmm.
detachment.
Mm-hmm.
Then Asteya, Brahmacharya.
Mm-hmm.
So many people think Brahmacharya is not getting married. It's not that. Like
Mm-hmm.
how you have Dinacharya,
Mm-hmm.
it is Brahmacharya
Mm-hmm.
engrossed in Brahman.
Mm-hmm.
That is brahmacharya. People, they think brahmacharya means, people who are not married, they are brahmacharis.
Yeah. Yeah. People
Is
who are
it?
not married or celibate, they are brahmacharis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is not.
Actually, there is a deeper meaning to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but celibacy is also a very, very important aspect in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very, very important aspect that can't be undermined.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one is niyama. So
Mm-hmm.
there it talks about saucha, cleanliness,
Mm-hmm.
santosha, be happy with whatever you have.
Mm-hmm.
then tapassu.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, whatever you want to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
whatever your ambition, you have to strive in that direction also.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mm-hmm.
swadhyaya,
Mm-hmm.
self-study,
Mm-hmm.
and Ishvara Pranidhana, meditate
Mm-hmm.
on Lord Paramashiva.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things, yamas and niyamas. Nobody is following yamas and niyamas.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
only doing
we are
asanas and pranayama.
only that.
Yeah, and that's also twisted. That's also twisted to make it commercial.
Yeah,
So, sir, before I
definitely.
go to Dr. Nischal, where time flies. It's been an hour since we are discussing, but we'll take another 20 minutes to talk about a few things because we're getting questions. And before I go to Dr. Nischal, Dr. Raghavendra, I want to ask you one thing. What is your one tip? Is it that amla powder for immunity, or what is that one tip that you have for adult and for kids to fight the COVID, to fight this pandemic, to fight, to build immunity, especially also for elders, because my parents are old. A lot of listeners who are listening, their parents are in their 60s, and you know that the COVID, for the especially elders, getting affected the most because they have already preconditions. What is something that we can do, that one tip, one or two tip that you have before I go to Dr. Nishchal?
And there are no, no one and two tips. There
Right.
are actually many. So what I would like to say is that whatever spices and all those things which you have it in your kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
those are medicines.
Mm-hmm.
Those are medicines. So make use of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, you have turmeric, you
Mm-hmm.
have jeera, you have dhania, you have garlic. So
Mm-hmm.
use that more.
Mm-hmm.
So that will take care of that. And most important thing is that, and one more thing that I would like to highlight, it's where we talk about these all issues or detox and all those things. See, it talks about shat karmas.
Mm-hmm.
There are six karmas.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, six kriyas. What you say? Six
Mm-hmm.
kriyas. What everybody has to do it. What they are doing is that they get all kinds of disease, get infected with all kinds of disease, and then go to the doctor.
Right.
So Ayurveda and all, it's a science of well-being. It's
Correct.
not like treatment oriented. You
Right.
lead such a lifestyle that you don't get ill at all.
Yeah.
So this is it. So everybody, what I would say is that please, please, please do Shatkarmas.
Mm-hmm.
See, for Panchakarma treatment and all, you have to go to different places. I mean, an Ayurvedic hospital and all.
Yeah.
But the Shatkarmas are so simple that you can do. See, I will also tell you there are six Shatkarmas. One is Tratak.
Mm-hmm.
This gazing.
Mm-hmm.
Without blinking the eyes, you gaze.
Mm-hmm.
That takes care of your eye health.
Mm-hmm.
And the scriptures also say that you will develop supernatural powers as well.
So you mean to say the game that we used to play when we were child, that whose eye is gonna blink first, has actually a deeper meaning?
That's Tratak.
You remember we used to play as a kid, like we used to look at each
Yeah.
other's eyes and
Yeah.
wow. So everything has like a, so it actually helps. So you've taught me like with eye rotation and all of that because of my pain and the issues that I was having with my health and all of that, with the pain in my left side and everything else. But are you saying that gazing? So when you look at each other's eyes for a long time without blinking, that is good for your health. That is good for
Yeah,
your eyes.
actually, what you have to do it at a far distance, you can place a small dot or a bindi on the wall
Mm-hmm.
and keep looking at it without blinking the eyes.
Wow.
So
Okay.
automatically, the tears will start flowing. That cleanses your eye.
Right.
So, whatever I'm telling, these are not my own. These are already there in the scriptures. I'm sharing with you people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah, the first one is called Trata,
Mm-hmm.
and second one is called Niti.
Mm-hmm.
So Niti, that is nasal cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, you see, maybe two in five, or say majority of people have developed these polyps
Right.
and sinus issues and all. So
Right.
this Niti will take care of that.
Right.
So there are two types actually. One is Jalaniti, another one is Sutra Niti.
Okay.
So if you do this, you don't have any issues
Right.
pertaining to the nasal cavity. And the next one is Kapalbhati. Everybody knows what is Kapalbhati. I did not tell that. So it's a very,
Yeah,
very, very popular one. That's,
absolutely.
that's very good. And it's a lung purifier. And then
Right.
you have something called as Dauti.
Yeah.
So there are two variations in that. One is Jala and another one is Vastra. So Vastra
Right.
would be difficult for a common man, but you can drink water and you can vomit.
Right.
That cleanses the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sixth one is Nauli.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Nauli Kriya.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you, whoever is very interested in getting this 8-pack apps or whatever it is, this is
Mm-hmm.
the best exercise.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best exercise. You get complete, separation.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggest, whenever they're doing their ab routine,
Mm-hmm.
please include vacuum
Mm-hmm.
and then Nauli Kriya.
Naulikriya.
You'll
Mm-hmm.
get excellent results.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, it also activates the Manipura chakra as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, in yoga and all, there are, seven chakras,
Yeah.
Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agnya, and Sahasrara. So this also activates the Manipura chakra.
Right.
And the next one is Basti.
Mm.
One of the major issues that people are facing is constipation.
Yeah.
And they go to doctor, and what he'll prescribe Dulcolax or whatever it is.
Right.
The best way to take care of your large intestine, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and detox completely, this kriya called as Basti,
Mm-hmm.
what we call as enema in
Anyway,
English. Yeah. So it is that. So what I
wow.
would suggest that, yeah, weekends,
Doing the
Saturday.
Shakriya.
Yes, madam. Yeah, please,
So
ma'am.
that so that's basically for the viewers. One thing to keep in mind is the Shakriyas. And not initial. Did you ever practice any of the things Dr. Raghavendra was talking about? Because I know you're very philosophical. I know you're
I
very very
practice,
inclined.
yeah, sometimes I practice Jalniti. Yeah, I feel a lot of positive things with Jalniti. It's a nice technique.
You've tried Jal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things Sir has taught me, which has been a great reliever from my like constipation and everything else, has been actually Basti. So basically, you can a lot of people can just do it yourself because you put the lukewarm water, and people find uncomfortable to put anything like that, like a tube, from your buttock and so on. But it is very very helpful to actually clean your intestine, and it has proven to be very, very helpful for me. Dr. Nischal, there are a lot of questions coming in, both for you and Dr. Raghavendra. So I'm going to start with you because, as we're getting close to the end of the session, these are some important questions. One is that when you're wearing face mask, there's a lot of sweat that you are generating for a lot of people who have oily skin. Um, so one of the viewers' question is that he's getting a lot of breakouts. So what is your suggestion to combat that?
See, when there is sweating in the underarms or palms, we put on some solutions to reduce the sweating of these areas. But when it comes to the face sweating, we usually don't treat you so much because whatever molecules we use, the skin of the face is sensitive, so it may cross react. Okay.
Right.
Second aspect is one simple thing what you can follow is, see, whenever there is sweating and a lot of oil secretion, it clogs your pores. So
Mm-hmm.
wash your face at least 3 times in a day. 2 times with a cleanser and 1 time with plain water.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time this takes care of your problem. Okay,
Okay.
apart from that, if the sweating is very intense, yeah, so that's the time when we'll have to do something like botulinum toxin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and botulinum toxin injections, they usually hardly stay for about a month's time. It does not last for longer because it's done very superficially and very small quantities are done. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not so worthwhile just considering the COVID infection. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the simplest thing is wash your face daily 3 times, 2 times with cleanser, 1 time with the plain water.
Right.
Coming to the acne breakouts, yeah, something specific has to be done. So that's
Right.
what I told you. You can use salicylic face washes.
Right.
Salicylic, you even need benzoyl peroxide face wash. So you can use
Benzo.
that. Just
Okay.
benzoyl peroxide. Yeah, it's quite safe. You can use that. So by doing these two things, you can take care of the excessive sweat and the oiliness or breakouts.
Okay. So another question that's coming in is that now that travel restrictions have been eased, people are wearing PPEs, right, to travel, or for example, they're wearing the face shields. People are getting marks and bruising because of that, and because of PPE, people are developing heat boils. So how do you combat that? Do you want to use powder before wearing PPE, or is there any pre-measures that one needs to take, or even to wear the face shield? Anything that that you want to suggest, Dr. Nischal?
See, whenever you have acne breakouts, see, when there is occlusion, then acne
Mm-hmm.
tends to increase. So naturally, when you're putting a tape here,
Mm-hmm.
there is occlusion and the acne tendency increases. So
Right,
your face wash helps you to some extent. One.
right,
Second
right,
aspect is regularly using adapalene gel.
right.
So if the tendency is very minimal, you can use it 2 times or 3 times in a week. Apply in the
Mm-hmm.
night time to the entire face and wash it off in the morning.
Right.
So that takes care of the keratinization of the dead cells, the blockage of the pores, and also it reduces your bacterial load. Third thing is, whatever the band you're using, the face shields, so you need
Mm-hmm.
to change it frequently. See, because what happens is, it is very natural that all your dust and oil goes and sits on the foam or on the band. Okay, so
Correct.
naturally when you're reusing it, it tends to contaminate the skin.
Mm-hmm.
So keep changing your face shields regularly, clean it. So that's
Right.
one aspect. And
Mm-hmm.
third thing is have a lot of vitamin A rich food. Vitamin A is involved in the control of shedding of dead cells. So
Mm-hmm.
anything which is green, yellow, orange, and red, they contain a lot of keratin. So keratin helps in controlling your acne tendency. So
Mm-hmm.
these four things you need to take care. So when you do that, you can try to control your breakouts to some extent. And another important thing is intermittently. See, when
Yes.
people are not there around you, you can remove your mask or
Mhm.
your face shield for some time and reuse it.
Right.
That also helps you.
So that there is another question that's coming in, and after that question, I want you to give me your parting thoughts, Dr. Nishchal. There are a lot more questions coming in, so there. Will you take two more, Dr. Nishchal, before you give your
Yeah,
parting thoughts?
sure.
There's
Sure.
one that's basically talking about that, you gave so much enlightenment in terms of the food to consume and what not to consume for kids. Because if they're getting a lot of allergies, this period is very sensitive, and COVID doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So what for kids to keep in mind so that they can have a certain kind of nutritional diet? So what specifically nutritional diet do you suggest for the kids? That's one question. I'll come to the
See,
second one after that.
yeah. See, first thing is keep away your children from all the processed food. Okay. So
Right,
that's the most important thing because each and every processed food has a lot of chemicals, and every day we are coming up with a lot of scientific data that this and this molecule is giving, a preservative is giving a lot of reactions. So for that reason,
right,
stay away from processed food as much as possible. See, whatever simple
right,
thing you can do at home, the traditional foods, whatever you are eating as a child, the same thing can be repeated. That is one thing.
right,
Second thing is
right,
inculcate the habit of having a lot of vegetables and fruits in their diet. Small quantities. See nowadays
right,
all children are pampered because you have hardly one or two kids. Okay, so many a times they are pampered
right,
really. So you need to
right,
give them the same vegetables and fruits in a different way. So come out with some nice idea. So make it interesting. Make your food
right,
interesting. See, that is how we have to deviate their mind from the processed food. And third thing
right,
is warm food is always good, especially with corona infection. So please give them warm food. Avoid all refrigerated items. See, no juices, no ice
right,
creams. So that's very important. Okay, and
right,
fourth is like as sir told, see, we also believe in a lot of antioxidants. Your turmeric
correct,
actually has a lot of antioxidants. So turmeric with pepper can be used in milk, and a lot of fruits contain glutathione. Glutathione is a molecule; it's a strong antioxidant which helps in fighting infections.
right,
And vitamin C in any form, it can be a lemon juice, it can be a this one orange juice, or you can eat it raw. So anything
right.
is fine. So these things, if you take care, it protects the health of a kid.
Oh, that's fantastic. So she says thank you to you. That is very very informative, doc. And Doc, she also wants to know that if you can please share your contact details, that how can people watching the show reach out to you? They're asking for Dr. Raghavendra as well, but I want you to do that. And after you share that, please give your top three tips that you want our viewers to follow during the next few months. We don't know when this pandemic is going to be over, but we need to take precaution. We need to take care. So first, your contact information, and then the two tips that you want to give us.
See, you can reach out to me on reach us at nirmalskinclinic.com, or you can contact us on 9945750033. Yeah,
Thank you
you can
so
reach
much.
out.
So this is anyways, all the listeners, this is recorded, so you can always go back and listen to it, and I will ensure that in my post I mention the contact details for Dr. Nischal as well as Dr. Raghavendra. So Doctor, three tips, your parting tips to our viewers.
See, first thing is protect yourself with the mask, face shield whenever applicable. Do not wash your face mask, please, and go for standard protective face mask, because that's the only thing which is scientifically proven to protect you. Second thing
N95.
is, yeah. Second thing is take care of your diet. That's very important. Your diet, your exercise, and sleep. Three things you balance, your immunity is good. Even if you like you contract an infection, you'll be able to fight for that. Third thing is all the skin issues are basically because of either excessive oiliness or the dryness. So for dryness, you need to apply a lot of moisturizer. You can use mild cleanser. Okay. And for excessive oiliness, appropriate face washes are very important. And keep your scalp clean, because whenever there is itching, hair fall increases. And when you
Yep.
take care of your nutrition, it addresses both your acne problem as well as the hair fall. So by doing this, yeah, definitely you'll stay healthy, stay beautiful during this period.
Thank you so much, Doc. And I'm going to come to Dr. Raghavendra. I have a question for you. One
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
mothers is asking, and this is basically Rushana. So she's basically a YouTube viewer. So she wants to know that are there specific asanas or are there meditation techniques for kids as well? Because her child is extremely anxious during this time. They can't go out and play, and she's having a very hard time managing her child. So are there specific tips you want to give for children during this time? So what can parents do to keep their children less anxious? Any asanas, any meditation technique for kids?
Yeah, very good question, ma'am. So, see, we should first. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely, we can hear you.
See, first thing is that we have to concentrate on the basics.
Mm-hmm.
See, first thing that they have to know is that teach the children and know what is dinacharya and what is ritucharya,
Mm-hmm.
how you should start the day and how you should end the day. And
Right.
next one is ritucharya. Ritucharya means season, ritu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
for I mean now this is called a Varsha Ritu,
Mm-hmm.
and this is Dakshinayana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so during this season, what are the food that we should eat and what are the food that we should not eat?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very vast thing. So what I would suggest is that kindly visit Ayush website, government Ayush website. So there
Mm-hmm.
you look for Dinacharya and Ritucharya. It's very
Okay.
simple. You take a printout, you stick it somewhere and follow that.
Okay.
This is what first you have to do. Know
Okay.
Dinacharya and know Ritucharya, how you need to start.
Right.
Because we have forgotten everything. We only know January, February, March, and everything. Our New Year starts in January, whereas it starts in Chaitra Masa.
Yeah.
So we have forgotten all that time. So first you know what is Ritucharya. So that you need to know that Dinacharya and Ritucharya.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing, one more important thing, I would like to draw attention is that in 2017, there was a Nobel Prize awarded in the field of physiology. That was, Mr. Jefferson, Mr. Michael, and Mr. Young
Mm-hmm.
for discovering the principles of circadian rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So, how we have a instrumental clock, we have a biological clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's called what you call a circadian rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever dinacharya we are following, this is in harmony with that. This is not something new to us.
Correct.
So I request all the viewers, please study circadian rhythm. So every 2 hours it changes. For example,
And
5
it's
to
good for
7,
the kids, right? It's good for the kids.
it's good for everybody.
Okay.
It's good for everybody. So if you
Okay.
see from 5 to 7, large intestine will be active. So that is the time when you wake up and use washroom, everything will be fine. 5 to 7 is large intestine, and 7 to 9 is the stomach period. So that is the time when you should have your breakfast.
7 to
So like
9.
yeah, 7 to 9. So that is where all your digestive juices, all those things that will be secreted very well. So that is it's a very it's a very simple thing, but you need to study that. You can take a printout of that. It's available on the net. It's called
Right.
circadian rhythm. So every 2 hours it keeps changing. So like that from 9 to 12. From 9 to 12 it is pancreas and spleen. From 11 to 1 it is heart. From 1 to 3 it is small intestine. From 3 to 7 it is kidneys. Then 7 to 9 it's circadian circulation, the nutrients which take place. 9 to 11 it is endocrine system. Then 11 to 1 it is gallbladder. 1 to 3 it is liver, and 3 to 5 it is lungs. So if you wake up at Brahmi Murtam and do pranayama, that is where the lungs are active between 3 to 5.
Yeah, no wonder. Okay, now I get it. Okay. So the waking up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, there's a reason to it. Because
Yeah,
that is where the circadian
yeah.
rhythm for your lungs. The lungs are the most active during that time. So when you do pranayama, you actually activate your system to the highest level, because that is how potent the system is, right, sir?
I'll give you
So
one more.
so if
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yes, so
See,
for kids, so they, if you follow the circadian rhythm, if you follow this the charitra, the chaitra that you're talking about, then there is a way to manage their anxiety, right? Because even kids go through a lot of stress.
yeah.
And so what
So
are your three tips? What are your three parting tips? Just like Dr. Nischal talked about, he talked about the mask, he talked about the nutritional food, he talked about, a healthy lifestyle, and most importantly, keeping your hair and everything clean. What is your three tips to our viewers today on parting thoughts that they need to take away from this session, so that as the COVID pandemic gets stronger, our fight against it gets stronger, our mind gets stronger, our body gets stronger. So what are your three tips, sir?
I'll tell you. I'll just quote one shloka. It
Mm-hmm.
says, Shariram Adhyam
Mm-hmm.
Kaludharma Sadhanam. This is also what do you say, the slogan of AIMS.
Mm-hmm.
Shariram Adhyam Kaludharma Sadhanam. This is what Lord Shiva told to Parvati.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually doing strict penance to please him, and
Mm-hmm.
she had become very feeble. So then, looking at the plight, then Lord Shiva says to her, Parvati, Shariram Adhyam Kaludharma Sadhana.
Mm-hmm.
Shariram, your body is of prime importance.
Mm-hmm.
If you are healthy, only then you can fulfill all the dharmas, all your duties.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of your body, take care
Mm-hmm.
of your mind, take care of your
Mm-hmm.
soul.
Mm-hmm.
And then you asked me, three, parting notes. So what I would say, please focus or please study about Nacharya, Ritucharya, and circadian rhythm. These are the
Awesome.
base. You
You
take
repeat
care of
it,
the
sir? Please repeat it again. Our viewers want you to repeat it.
Dinacharya,
Dinacharya.
Ritucharya, Ritucharya, and circadian rhythm.
Excellent.
So these are the base. Simple, ma'am. Like whatever numbers are there. I mean, if you know from 0 to 9, you can write any numbers with the combination. So these are
True.
the base. You take care
Wonderful.
of this, everything will be fine.
Awesome. So Dinacharya, Ritucharya, circadian rhythm. By
Yeah.
God, what all we have learned. So, Doctor, today we had the reason I said that this is going to be a very special show. is because we had one of the most respected and decorated dermatologists, medicine practitioner joining us, and then we had one of the most respected and articulate and ardent follower of dharmic, philosophy as well as yogic science join us. What it teaches us is that science and philosophy goes hand in hand. One is the foundation for the other. You cannot you cannot displace one with the other, and both needs to function in conjunction. Is why a lot of things Dr. Nischal talked about had so much of essence and ethos in what Dr. Raghavendra talked about. The two things in common what they said is, remember this: if you don't take care of your body internally, externally you can never succeed. So good nutrition, a good healthy lifestyle, most important, managing your COVID lifestyle, which is now, if you are applying sanitizer, apply moisturizer. If you're wearing a mask, wear the right N95 mask. Don't wash your mask. If you're wearing a mask, wear it 3-4 times and then dispose it and then circulate it. And what Dr. Raghavendra talked about, which is available on the Ayush website, is learning about these charyas and most importantly the circadian rhythm. So, Dr. Nischal, Dr. Raghavendra, thank you so much for joining us today. And Dr. Raghavendra, how can the viewers reach you? Is there an email ID of the
Yeah,
viewers one?
yeah. My email ID is Dr. P. Raghavendra. Dr. P for Patriot. Raghavendra, Raghavendra @gmail.com.
Awesome. And you already have Dr. Nishkal's details and Nirmal Skin and Hair Clinic. That's my go-to place. And both of these men have been my anchors that guided me through my transformation. And even while I continue to battle several health issues, they have been a foundation, they've been a pillar of support. And I'm so grateful to both of you for coming on COVID Warriors today. And my salute to you both for being the COVID warriors. And I know Dr. Nishchan is still in his clinic helping so many patients. And Dr. Raghavendra, you continue to inspire, you continue to teach. Thank you so much, Dr. Nishchal and Dr. Raghavendra, for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much, sir. It was very nice being with you. Yeah, it was very
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Good night, viewers, and stay safe, stay healthy. Don't forget to follow the tips you've learned today. They are invaluable. And do take care of yourself. I'm going to end the broadcast now. Bye. Good night.
Bye. See you. Take care.
Thank you, Doc.